Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Conversation with OGs. Today we have special guest T. I'm Meatball.
I'm Barb.
Dre.
So we're going to just jump right into it. Is it safe for a man to date a woman with kids? I don't think so. What you think, Barb?
I don't know. I guess for me it depends. It depends on the structure of the woman and how she's allowing the man to be in a child's life. You know, you got some women who date men who don't allow men to be around their children, or, you know, if a man is moving in with a child, then I think that's the protocol that I would say no.
So you don't think under no terms should a man move in with a woman with kids?
Not if they're not theirs. And listen, to me, you have to have had a bond with these kids like from birth, or like you've been knowing these kids since they were little kids. But to move in with a woman who has kids that's like 14, maybe 5, 6, or around that age, I don't think it's safe. That's my opinion.
Define safe. What do you mean by safe? Like, is he a pedophile?
Well, no, when you say safe, anything can go wrong. Anything can happen. You have, like, I grew up in a home where men came to our home and they moved in with us. So you have men who come in who try to take control of the situation because they don't see a father. So now they put themselves in a position that I'm the man of the house and I'm the person that you're going to respect. But when you have a child that's rebellious, that causes conflict and confusion, because now that child looking at you like you ain't my daddy and I don't have to listen to you. So now here comes the battle of the territories. We bumping heads now, like, who are you? So now that man feels like you have to give him so much respect, and that child feels like I don't have to give you anything. And then you do have girls. You got girls. And you know, some girls nowadays walk around in these little shirts and t-shirts because they're not being raised properly to put on long pants or put a robe on. And you got men who look at little girls and pay attention to them. Girls ain't thinking, you know, they just walking around the house in they little short.
And these young girls ain't so little. I mean,
they not little. You got 12-year-olds with bodies of 15 and 16-year-olds.
I mean, and just I don't know pedophile stuff, but just being a man, if you know, some cases the little girls that you're talking about is way more strapped than the mama.
Mm-hmm.
So if she walked past and I think it should be some type of boundaries. If a woman decide to let a man move in, she's going to have a talk with her children. You know what? None of that doing like he used to do when it was just us. You can't be walking around in your underwear, your boy shorts, with a t-shirt, no bra. I think steps should be taken just so things don't appear bad. Mm-hmm. Because all it takes is, an auntie or something to say, do he look at you weird? And she'd be like, well, sometimes. And now this auntie and took off. Mm-hmm. That has happened in my family. So for me, it is safe for a man to date a woman with kids. I say absolutely not. Because all it takes is this child to be upset with this man for anything and, go to school and tell the teacher, what, he touched me. Or, he did this to me. He came in while I was in the bathroom. They're obligated to call the police. Mm-hmm. Once the police get involved, ain't no cutting it off.
So you pretty much saying, as far as you said dating, so you pretty much mean moving in when a person move in, because I don't really feel like it's an issue when you're dating a woman with kids. I mean, it's different age brackets, it's different age groups, you know what I mean? Some of them can be older, and once they're older, they're definitely not going to respect you. It's going to be an issue because they're going to feel like you're trying to replace their father. But it's also depends on how this woman raises these kids, what type of respect level they're going to have for you, how they're going to dress you, and as well as how they dress around the house, you know what I mean? So, I mean, as far as moving in, I would be pretty much uncomfortable to move in with a woman with younger kids. I've been in a relationship like that where I dated someone, her child was young, and I mean, y'all may look at me crazy when I say this, her her daughter and mine was maybe like a 2 or 3 month difference. I didn't even change her diaper. She had a pissy diaper on all day till she got off work. And I felt like the same situation. I don't want nobody telling me I fondled or touched her daughter or something happened. Because you got to realize if I'm babysitting, what if something happened to her maybe a day before or something? And I changed the diaper.
Now, how long were you dating this young lady?
I was dating her maybe about 3 years. I don't care. I got to date her 20 years.
But you said the baby was how old?
The baby was maybe like close to 2 or somewhere up. The baby was walking. Okay. She was around that age. She was still wearing Pampers or whatever, but
you was around. Yeah, but I know, because I know you have some people be in situations where you're not even around that long, and you got the men taking them to school and staying at the house with them by themselves. And I think that's where women make mistakes as being single parents. And I don't have any children, so I just think just from me looking on the outside at some people, I think it's a mistake when they try to replace the father or have somebody in their home or saying that I need a man there and I need a structure there for my children to follow. You may do, but at the same token, you have to protect your kids at the same time. Don't get me wrong, you do got some fathers out here that hurt kids too. So I'm not going to say, to me, it's like a 50-50 chance you taking, but you got a higher risk of someone, to me, hurting your child or your child just getting into some conflict with somebody that's not their dad.
So what about just a woman flat out just needing help? Because it's so many women out here just flat out need help. So as soon they meet a man and they feel like, they going somewhere, she looking at him as help. Now I got somebody, when I'm at work, I ain't got to rush back home to go pick the kids up from the bus stop or...
Well, that's the problem. They're looking for help in the wrong places. You can't look for somebody to watch your children that you have with another person from another man. Where's the dad? If the dad's not there, okay, you got to figure it out. But for you to bring in another man that's not the father and a stranger, really, to your children, to take care of them and step up as the father role is where women fall short in their role of being a responsible mother in some situations, right? You can't say, oh, I need help, so I'm going to get a man, and my man, he's going to pay for the bills, and he's going to take my kids to school, and I'm going to go to work, and we're going to make this work. But obviously, in a perfect world, in a perfect world, you would still be with the baby father, with the child's father, right? Things to be. But because the woman is not, now she's short-handed, and now she will go and look for help where she can find it. And usually sometimes it's in the man, but they don't even look at the man's character. They don't look and see how good of a father he is. They don't look and see anything. They just say, he loves me. I know I trust him, so that therefore I trust him with my kids. And that's where they go wrong, because now you have instances where, okay, look at this situation with the 12-year-old that went missing. Come to find out, the auntie's husband killed her, impregnated her. Like, you have situations like that. You gotta always, when you have kids in mind, especially, any kids, it can be boys or girls. When you have kids in mind, you always have to think the worst scenario. For you to search for your answers in a man is another situation that you got to deal with. You got to figure out a way to make this work, because you lay down with this person and you decide to have a child with this person that might not have been the right person and is no longer there for you and this child. So now you got to figure out, okay, what do I have to do? I got to step, if I have to, daycare my family, I'm not running to a man to solve my issues right now. I need to figure this out as a mom, as a woman. Like, I can't, but I understand it's rough. They don't have any, maybe some people don't have family. Yeah. Maybe they don't have help. But then you gotta, for you to just throw your children on everybody and expect them to take care of children that aren't theirs is ridiculous. Like, okay,
so they got that saying though, T, I can do bad by myself.
Exactly. So and your answer is, just like for anybody, just for a woman, is it easier for a woman to date a man that doesn't have children? Yes, it's so much easier. Is it easier and safer for a man to have a relationship with a woman that doesn't have children? Absolutely, it's easier.
I think it's a difference, though.
It's not.
Hold on. The reason why the difference is, if a man got kids, 9 times out of 10,
They're with the
We're
mama?
not. They're with the mom. We're not bringing them around, or they're not in the way because we still gotta. We gonna just if we accept you with your kids, we gotta come in. We're taking care of you. We're doing things for the kids. If the roles are switched, y'all not worried about the
we
kids.
got to go back and look at the way things are now. Roles, some roles are switched. We have some men who are really raising their children. Mothers are not around. Mothers are jumping out the game saying, "I'm tired. I can't do this no more." So you have a lot of fathers now that are out here being single parents raising their children.
Okay, this is another point I was gonna make.
Okay, go ahead.
Another point I was gonna make. Women have kids by guys they're not even with. I've known a lot of women sit here, got a side dude, or she's the side chick and get pregnant and decides to have the child. So them the same women you're talking about that's jumping out. Now, you know what, I don't want the baby. You can go and take the baby. Or it don't make no sense as far as like you saying you need somebody to help you with the baby, do this, and that. Why even put yourself in that situation? You're the side chick. You're a one night stand and you decide to get pregnant. Say, you know what? I'm going to base a one night thing and I'm gonna have a child.
Because you gotta look
I need somebody to love me because this man ain't gonna love me, so I'm gonna have a child.
But now you gotta also look at a woman, some women's perspective of how they look at it is that they feel like that's the way that they're trapping that man and keeping that man in their life. So now I have a child. So now it's no more one night stands and sad chicks. Now you have to deal with me because I have this child.
I mean, I've been there, but women actually think that's logical. That shit gonna work.
They think it's
shit ain't gonna work.
No, it doesn't work, ladies. It don't work, but women look at it that way. So now you have a woman now who's looking like, okay, I'm gonna get him. Oh, he don't want to be with me. He don't want to take care of his child. So what's the next thing she do? She hit your pockets. Mm-hmm. Because now you don't want to be with her, not logically thinking.
But he really wasn't with her anyway.
Right. But see, that goes back to what I always saying, how women just mismanage their pussy.
Wait a minute.
They just...
You say mismatch? Like what? Explain.
I didn't say mismatch. I said mismanage.
Mismanage. Okay. Mismatch. I don't get it. Okay.
Women just keep making emotional decisions about life. You cannot... I don't think a woman should make a lifelong decision based off her emotions at that time.
Some women do.
I think it should be some type of
owner's
manual or something they got to follow. Because women
are emotional creatures. Let me tell you this.
They got to do better.
Women are... Yes, some women have to do better. But you also have to understand women are emotional creatures, right? When women give you their body just the same, right? It's an emotional attachment to that. Right? So even though she's like, whatever, you my side or whatever, I'm your side, we don't go together, right? But at the end of the day, we're emotional creatures. So there's an attachment. Every time you leave this person that you think is a side person, every time you leave her, she's taking something away with her. And then
in her mind.
That
don't mean it's real.
So that means for the men, if you're dealing with women and you don't want any children with them, how about you wrap it up? Or how about you don't touch her?
And don't always blame the woman.
Exactly, because it takes two to tango, right? If you're not using a condom with her, guess what? The odds of her getting pregnant are pretty high. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't want that to happen, guess what? One, I'm going to wrap it up. I might double it up. Or two, I'm not going to deal with her.
I agree.
Because it's an issue, right? So don't just put it all on, well, she said she's here, she's
the
pregnant,
word
right?
mismanage.
Well, men mismanage too. Then
you can say men mismanage his penis.
Yes.
But see, at the end of the day, the woman have the choice, and she also have the right to have life. It's not up to the man. It's totally up to the woman.
Right, but I'm saying, the life has to be made with both of y'all.
I'm saying for that baby to be born.
It takes both of y'all.
Women are the number one murderers. When they choose to be.
Now wait a minute.
Hold on, T. Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
Women kill at will if they don't want. Hold on. A woman.
I ain't said nothing.
A woman will kill a man, baby, that she know he ain't shit he ain't got potential to be shit. She won't hesitate to go lay on that table.
Okay,
hold on, Bert.
Okay, go ahead.
But if this man have any kind of potential, anything going on, oh yeah, he's a good catch. My thing is this. If a man tell you I don't want no baby or I ain't never having no kids, women know when they what is it called when they fertile.
Biological
Ovulate?
ticket.
When they ovulate.
No, they don't. Not necessarily.
Every woman every day know when they
ovulate.
ovulate.
Who walking around with an ovulation?
You got that shit on your cell phone.
Women have told me
Some
they can
women do.
feel when they ovulate. Their body feel different.
Okay. Why are you having sex with them without a condom?
Well, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to establish,
the decision she'll make after she's pregnant?
no, I'm just trying to show women. Okay, first of all, she has more rights than men. Women have more rights than men, right? So not
if Trump's in office.
well, you know, if guys like to not wear rubbers, they should vote for Trump then.
You're telling your girl to go get an abortion right now because this pregnant wasn't planned and you want to vote for Trump. Okay, he's telling you, guess what? You better say hi in 9 months to this baby. It's going to happen because it's not, that's what Trump, anyways, it's off topic. But
we all the way on topic. We want the safety of kids to Trump.
But it's the truth.
Oh, it's sad.
But, okay, women, yeah, you got to think, when a woman's pregnant, her emotions is everywhere, right? And if she's already emotional before she gets pregnant and then she finds out she's pregnant, oh my gosh, it's a different person. Her emotions, everything, the hormones. And then you tell her, go have this abortion. And she's like, I don't know. That's probably what happens. She probably intended to, right? And then all these emotions come. But then you got to think, abortions it does so much to a woman's body.
But they do it all the time. It's nothing for a woman to have an abortion when a nigga ain't shit.
Coming from the person that has never had an abortion, they do it all the time.
I'm saying the average woman got at least 3 abortions.
And guess what? That average person probably couldn't have any more kids now. Or they're going through issues with their health. I mean, it's a lot of issues that add up. Yeah, I'm sure the average person has had abortions. I've had abortions, but guess what? That was early part of my life. But when it came down for me to settle down and I met my husband and I wanted to have kids, it took us 10 years to have a kid.
Yeah, but see,
and you got to think all of that adds to a woman's body, it adds to a woman's mental.
You can't do what you want to do in your premium years and then think now that you have got wisdom, everything is going to be okay. Life doesn't work like that.
Exactly.
Most women,
okay if they keep the secret to themselves.
Yeah, but see, their body is going to tell them. If you've been you had 4 or 5 abortions, and you trying to have a kid now, you have met this awesome guy, and you want to get married now, settle down. Your body gonna say, listen, she ain't made a whole lot of fucked up decisions before she met you, dog. And now you like, well, why I gotta pay all this money so we can have a kid? Because she had all kind of shit stuck up in her.
She not gonna tell.
Yeah, but see, history, her body is gonna tell on her. Just like how a woman body get to smelling when she been cheating. And your body tell on you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's get
back to the safety of the kids.
So when it comes to kids being safe within a home with a man that's not their father, I think it makes it very difficult for the man, especially if he's a good guy. You meet some guys that are good guys that come into homes with women with children who try to put structure there because, as T said, you have women, and you even said it, it's hard. So if you're a single mother with 5 kids, it's hard to put some structure in that house because now you got to go to work, they got to go to school, you're not there. So now you're going to meet a guy like Dre that you can date him. And he's coming into your home and he looking at these baby kids. These kids out of control. What the world? But this is something that children are allowed to do. Take over the household. So nowadays, because I just saw a thing on Facebook where the young man was 16 years old. The mother was raising him by herself. And she was telling him to wash dishes or do something. And he literally got up in her face and told her, who are you? You don't tell me what to do. I run this house. I'm the man of this house. You do what I say do.
This they was black?
Black. You do what I say do. And she's taping him. And he's like, get the camera out my face. Get it out my face. I'm trying to tell you, get it out my face before I do something you don't want me to do. So we have children now, like back in the day when I was growing up. You better not step up or call somebody a liar or say something. Now, these kids nowadays have, like you said, you got to set boundaries. But what do you do when you go into a woman's home who has no boundaries?
Well, see, Barb, that goes back to this. You got these modern women that want to be friends with their kids.
I agree.
It's no structure from the start. You remember when he was 2-3 years old, she was calling him a king?
And
he's the man of the house. All them dances and cuss words she thought was funny.
It was funny.
Now he's grown and all that's backfiring. And if you look at history, even something as simple as Google, women make terrible parents raising boys. If
she can't raise a boy to a man.
It's impossible. What she's doing, she's creating somebody for the prison system.
Well, I think what I would say is that women, and once again I say I have no children. So what I will say is that the women that I know with children, they try to make the life for their children different from their life. So they say you had a hard life, and so now I want to give my child everything that I didn't have. I think that's like the biggest mistake to me.
I think that's a big mistake. It's not just women.
I think that's a big mistake because we're not preparing our children for the life of what if you don't have this. See, I was a spoiled kid. I had everything, but my father said, here you go, spend it because you ain't going to have this all the time. Just spend. My mother wasn't like that. So it's a status in dating. See, my father was like middle class. My mother came from poor. So for my mother, you don't just spend money. You hold this, you say this, you do that. For my daddy, money was nothing. Spend it how much, I don't care. Buy it, get it, you can have it. But I learned from two different parents because two different parents had two different views. My father's view was money.
So now that you're an adult, which way you think was best?
I don't know, because I lived my daddy way for a long time.
And how did that get you?
It didn't get me very far. But I lived my father's way for a long time. I lived the brat way for a long time. Because but my mother's way of teaching was better. She implemented that you have to always have a safety net. You have to always have something to fall back on. You have to always have something to have. My father's way was just spend because you're not going to be here forever. Just spend. But see, when you're spending, you have nothing to fall back on. So my mother's way was the best way.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let's get back to the topic. When you're dating a guy and, just say pretty much the topic is should a man date a woman with kids as far as safety or whatever. How long do you have this man around? Do you vet him? Before you bring him around the kids? Because we never talked about a time frame. We never talked about, because I know I've known a lot of women meet a guy, he over around the kids in 2-3 days. You know what I'm saying? So I think they need to be vetted out. You need to really know if this guy crazy. Because back in the days, women, y'all used to date a guy, y'all meet him over one of y'all friends' house and all that. It ain't like that no more. Y'all pull up, this is my address and all that. So how long do you date this guy?
Well, you know what, Trey?
And dating is different now because they date online.
It's not even about how long. First of all, do a basic background check.
All that's part of it.
Most of these niggas out here running around as child molesters.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a lot of guys, everybody is not just getting out of jail for drugs. A lot of them getting out of jail for touching these kids.
I feel like she got to vet him. She got to know his personality. She got to be around his friends to see if he might snap off, he pop off or something.
You have a child. So when you were dating, did you allow guys that you were dating, different guys? Did she meet the guys, or how long was it before you were allowed her to meet anybody?
I didn't have too many relationships. All my relationships were long term. But I did. She did meet them, but it took a while. And I'll just give you an example of my husband now, right? I met him through one of my close friends. That was his cousin. So I knew the family. But at the same time, she didn't come around, she more or less spent time with the family, more opposed. There was never really any time where they spent time alone like that, and when we spent time, it was time together, right? So it was, and that's how I vetted him. It was, I would see how they would interact. I would see him as a father. That was the most important thing to me. He was a father too. So I would see him as a father, and I would see him around his family. So I felt comfortable at that time. And
I think it probably would have made her comfortable too, instead
Right.
of forcing her into
Right.
that situation.
Exactly.
And she doing it as a
So
family.
it took some time.
It took
But
some
most
time.
women don't have that option.
Most women don't
gotta
have that-
hurry up. I need
I
help
think
But
they
now.
have
see,
that
that's
option,
their
they just be in a
problem.
rush.
You see, when
Well,
you
they ain't
in
got no choice. If you working a full-time
You have a
job,
choice.
You got a
and you
choice.
got a 3-year-old at home, can't go to school.
They got
You
programs.
got a
You need
choice.
some help.
You
in
got a
911.
choice.
But Bob, what we trying to sell you is that it's so many programs out
That'll
here
help.
that help women. So it's not even so much as they don't have a choice. It's just a decision
I think they
choose
go to
to
the
make.
easiest option,
I agree.
right? It's the easiest option.
I would
Or they don't
rather
do the
have you.
research.
Or they don't do the research. They're
Yeah.
like, he loves me. We good. We're okay.
Okay, now let me give you a scenario. What about if a female, she has 2 kids. She have a 5-year-old and she have a 3-year-old. She's working a full-time job. Her hours is like this, 7 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. What do she supposed to do? Who's going to make sure that those kids is getting up, getting to school, getting home safe from school, something to eat, and then still bathe and back in
Well,
bed?
she had this issue or she had this situation before she found a man, right? So,
She shouldn't have had them damn kids if she didn't
right.
have that.
Well, women and
So
men breaks
what
up
she
all the
needs
time.
to do is find resources,
A support
right,
system.
within the government or whatever it is that is going to help
So
her.
guess what the answer is? You got a 3-year-old.
And
Child
a
care
five,
is
yeah.
what's about
And a
6 or
five.
7 o'clock, and if they
Yeah,
have to stay
yeah,
over, you
yeah,
got to pay a little
yeah.
extra money. You got one in school. Guess what? They got latchkey.
Yep, and depending on
Yeah,
her
but
income,
everything
depending on her,
If she working at a plant, she making too much money.
Well, she should have been afforded. She
So
worked
she
at a
should be
plant.
able to
No,
afford
but
it,
see,
Nemo.
everybody know once you pay rent right now, the average rent is about $1,300-$1,400. Then you got a car
That's
note.
one check.
That's about
But
about
meanwhile, you
four.
working at
that's
the
a half-
pay
four,
and you got to understand,
Insurance about $200-$300.
DHS pays.
That's
her
two checks.
issue is not somebody else's issue.
Point that I'm making, how things get unsafe for a man. Most of the time, a man, he just wants some pussy. When he meet a chick, he ain't thinking about no relationship. He ain't thinking about her kids. He just thinking she got a fat ass and I want to fuck. So once he get cool and they ain't fucked around for about 6-7 months, she get to asking questions like this. So what are we doing? Are we anything or what? So he may like her a little bit. He comes around a little more. She automatically thinking about one thing: help.
Mm-hmm.
He got to consider, first of all, what about her father, them kids' father? Is it okay for me to whoop your kids? Which is discipline.
Why is he thinking about whooping the kids?
Well, because you got to have structure in every household.
See, but I disagree. I'm not trying to go put her household together. You
Well,
thinking about putting her household
if I'm
together.
around, if
Or you
I'm
just
for a long
dating
period
her.
of time, because certain things as a man, you're not gonna
So,
you're not
Are
gonna.
you seeing yourself as being with her, or you just fucking? 'Cause
Well,
that
if we've
determines
been fucking
everything.
around for about a year, 2 years, and I'm around her 9 times out of 10, shit, she gonna be the only chick I'm fucking with.
So, but what does the thinking about disciplining the kid come in? Because I
Okay,
never
disciplining
think about
kids is
that.
this. Well, I think about it all the time because you see kids, first of all, they eating in the living room. After
Who
you,
living room? Yours or hers?
hers.
Well, I don't give a fuck. That's
Yeah,
her
but I'm
shit.
still, if I'm there and I'm watching the kids and I'm telling them,
He's trying to say that
I'm
it's
trying
still
to
some
set
type of
structure.
structure that you
okay,
Okay,
you
hold
gotta
on,
eat
hold
at
on.
the table.
You
I mean,
over there.
Their mom is not even saying anything to them. Who's going to say that this stranger that their mom
Should
likes
come through
is going to
set
come and say,
boundaries
I
and
can't sit
Well, see,
and
that
eat
goes
in the
back to
living room?
why it ain't safe.
Okay, but now I gotta say this. And
It
we
ain't
gonna
safe
let-
for
we
no
gonna let
man to
Diddy
date no
answer,
woman
but
with
I gotta
kids.
say
It
this.
ain't safe.
Women want you to come in and play the father and do
But
what
won't
father's
accept
supposed to do,
disciplinary
but
actions
but
or
give
things
you
like that.
limitations
Yeah.
on what you
Yeah.
should and should
That's
not
right.
do.
Which
So
is
I
wrong.
guess what Ball is saying
Yeah.
is don't try to give me a role
Right.
and then limit
I
me
get it.
to what
Okay.
I can and can't
That's
do.
right.
So
Yeah.
Diddy, you have a son. So when it comes to I mean, I know you was married or whatever. But what I guess the question I'm trying to say is that how would you feel? Because your girlfriend, she has children. So she's asking you to not play the role, but you're there with them every day. And now you're just trying to discipline them. And discipline doesn't always mean physical.
Barb, you going way over the question. Let's make it simple. Do you sit there put structure around about where they can eat in the
Right
house?
now, do you put structure on
do you
your
put structure in your home?
woman's kids?
Out the gate.
As far as where they eat at.
Out the gate. I was told I am not their dad. They have a dad.
Mm-hmm.
So my role is bonus dad. I'm like a fun uncle or a mean uncle at times. I don't put my hands on them. I could tell them right from wrong, but that's about 5 years ago. She disciplines her own kids. I discipline my kids. My kids.
So if you see them doing something wrong and she's not there,
hold on.
you allow them to do that until she gets there.
He said
We was talking about eating in the living room or something.
Well,
we didn't say nothing about doing anything wrong.
Well, of course you won't be telling those 16, 17-year-old where they can eat at. So if we're talking about a 3 to maybe about a 10-year-old.
Okay.
If a 3 or 10-year-old is eating in the living room, which I'm assuming everybody know that shouldn't be done, but how many times are you going to tell this child the same thing before you got to say, okay, at this point, you know what, you're done eating, you know what, go ahead and put your plate on the table.
So you gonna starve the kids out now?
No, listen, Dre, listen. And that ain't starving out a kid.
Starving. I'm talking about starving.
That ain't starving out a kid.
Okay.
And I don't see nothing wrong with it if I told you in the last 3 weeks 8 times to quit eating in here. So at some point,
that's when the mama supposed to step in.
Well, if I'm there and the mama's not, I gotta take some type of something.
Okay.
So what I think is fair, because I'm not opposed of hitting nobody's kids. I ain't down with spanking nobody else's kids, because I wouldn't allow nobody to spank mine. But what you have to do something. So you know what? I asked you several times not to eat in here. So can you please just take your plate, put it on the table? You're done.
See, I don't look at it like this. My thing is this. A woman should say, okay, well, listen, they're allowed to eat here, there, whatever. That got to be some type of conversation from the beginning. So now if they're allowed to eat here, that's where they should be eating at. I can't sit here and say don't eat in the living room.
So are y'all sharing this home together, or this is her
This
home?
is her house.
And
he said this is her house.
It's her. I'm not even living. I'm visiting.
You're visiting.
He's just over there for the day.
So this is the problem I think. This is the problem I think that exists. I think a lot of women, most women, try to be friends with their kids. That means they want to, they probably...
They want to be brothers and sisters.
That's right. So she probably eat in the living room, so the child think it's okay to eat in the living room. But guess what? You're a child and somebody got to clean up behind you.
Exactly.
Just so happen to be me, because your mom is at work.
Yeah.
So I don't want to clean up behind you.
So you say basically if you give me the role, if you want me to step into the role as a father, then they should give you everything that comes with being a father, not limit you.
I'm not saying that either. What I am saying is if I'm going to keep your child, or I'm going to be looking after your child for so many hours a day, I'm going to apply my structure, and I'm going to tell the mom what this kid has done. And I'm pretty sure she's going to mention it to the child. But once she's gone, she going to be looking at him, or she going to be looking at me like, who are you? See,
I got to step in right here because pretty much I feel like a friend, a jangling, somebody you just sleeping with, you're not doing it. The way you talking, like y'all building a relationship, a future together.
But that's how most people work, Dre.
Not if y'all just fucking.
Yeah, but you would just be fucking a chick for 2-3 years.
So how long before you start watching the kids? Because now I'm curious.
I'm at about anywhere between a year and 2 years.
Well, y'all should have a relationship in a year, 2 years.
But that's
you talking about like y'all
I
just...
said been over a year.
That's what he said.
Yeah, but he didn't say y'all was in it. He said he over her house. He pretty much talking like they just kicking it.
Well, usually, Dre, that's how a relationship starts.
So before you say, okay, we are
I never been in a relationship with a woman. We sat down and say, all right, I'm your boyfriend and you my girlfriend. And
y'all just in a relationship and y'all just never
Well, usually you just be together so much, you look up, 3 years it went by.
Okay. Because, I had to get a clear understanding because I don't understand watching kids if y'all just fucking. But if y'all in a relationship, that's something
But
different.
how you gonna... So you telling me you can just be fucking a chick for 2 years and you ain't got no kind of relationship?
First off, I'm the type of guy, I'm trying to come through when the motherfuckers asleep. I'm not trying to be babysitting no kids. That's just being realistic.
For 2 years?
It depends what type of... First off, you got to talk about what y'all got going on. What y'all got... If she say, well, we're building towards something, or if I say that, if we're just having fun, going out, and it's no strings, no titles, I'm not babysitting these motherfuckers.
After 2 years, though, Dre? There's only so many dates y'all can go out on.
Well, I'm going to give y'all an example. I was a product of a kid that grew up in a household. I had a father. My mother had her boyfriend. My mother's boyfriend lived in our house. And
so he was babysitting all this shit?
He wasn't babysitting us because we were at a certain age. We probably about maybe 12. My sister was a little bit younger. I was about 12. But what I'm trying to say is that my mother, I would never ask him, could I go outside? I would never ask him for anything. I just pick up the phone, hey, Mom, what you doing? Can I go?
You probably didn't even like him, did you?
You
didn't care for him much.
I didn't care for him. Okay. But I never spoke with him. So he could be in the living room. I would walk in the house, hey, go in my room, change my school clothes and stuff. Ma, I did my homework and I go outside. My mother's response was, did you speak to Paul? Did you ask Paul? And in my brain, I'm saying I spoke to him, but I didn't ask him, could I go outside? So guess what Barbara would do? Because I was that rebellious kid, I would just stay in the house till she came home because I wasn't going to ask him, could I go outside? Mm-hmm. So I think when it comes to children and people moving into your homes and people being around and your children being around me, it has to be about that man and what type of man he is. And so for me, I looked at it that I had no respect for them because they always moved in our house. You came in already made home. You want to call shots. You want to tell us how we can eat. You want to tell us what time to pray. You want to tell us what time to go to bed. But the house was already made before you came in. But because my mother felt like she needed the discipline, she
probably needed that man. It ain't got nothing to do with discipline.
She said she needed the man to discipline. Lonely. No, she needed him, and she also said, your father never helped me discipline you. Never. And my father wasn't a disciplinarian, but my father also said he felt men shouldn't discipline women, discipline girls. My mother should have. But
you can discipline. It don't have to always be physical.
But he can't do anything if you can't pick and choose when you want him to discipline.
You're right.
You can't pick and choose. You got to either be real or don't be real. So you can't say he's not doing this and he's not doing this. But now you want to pick and choose what you tell. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now you got Dre moving in saying, don't wash clothes, or you can't wash after 3 o'clock, or you can't eat after 2 o'clock, or you gotta. So those were the type of rules coming in our house, and I was the kid like, I'm confused. Like, what?
I moved in, just don't touch my shit.
So what about this though? What about this, Dre? And another reason why I don't think it's a good idea for men to date a woman with children, because kids lie. A kid can fuck a man's life up. Mm-hmm. All a kid gotta do is say, you know what? This is what he did, Ma. He could be like, she a motherfucking lie. But once the words are said from that kid, kid get the burden.
It's over with.
It all shit. You gotta be fighting and proving your way, and you might be in prison until that kid just get sick and tired of lying and say, I lied. And guess what happened? Nothing happened to the kid. You just get freed from jail. Your whole life is fucked up. You lost your job, lost your house. You lose everything. And you know what the mama say? I'm sorry. See, that ain't enough for me.
But guess what? If you go to Dre way, them little motherfuckers sleep when you slide through. If you go your way where you babysitting and watching movies with them, that type of shit happen. That shit don't happen with me. Cause I don't really want to entertain these little motherfuckers unless we're building something.
Well, Dre, you can't say it won't happen because you could just be over there jank-langing and happen to go to the bathroom, and guess what? She in the hallway.
9 times out of 10, when I was single, without a relationship, they go get the soap and rag, they wash me up, and I leave out the door. I ain't seeing these little kids. I'm not seeing they teenage kids. Them little motherfuckers sleep. Because if it's just physical, that's what it is. When you meet a woman, or you meet a woman meet a man, y'all know out the gate, okay, I'm gonna have fun, or I'm gonna build a relationship. This is what it is. You're gonna know that. That's what vetting a person out. You have to vet a person out to be around your kids. You have to sit here and say, you know what? He's a hard-working man. She's a hard-working woman. Okay, I may see a future. Oh, this motherfucker got 2 Newports. Asked me to buy him some cigarettes or vice versa. I don't see a future. But he done fucked the dog shit out of you. Now you done move this nigga in. And he had $4 in his pocket. Wow. Y'all do this shit all the time.
And I'm totally against.
Well, like T said,
I'm totally against a woman moving a man in. If this man think that much of a woman, he should go ahead and get a place, and they come in together.
There should never be a time when a man moves in with a woman and her kids. I'm sorry. There should never be a time.
All the time.
Never.
Listen, and that goes back to women just being desperate, and they just want somebody to love them.
I just got home. I did 7 years, 20 years.
But Dre, that's
I ain't got
not
nowhere to
true.
go.
You got men who live off women quick, they prey. You know, ever heard the saying where they say in the summertime how the men be out here, then when it get cold, they find somebody to shack up with because they ain't got nowhere to go, something to do.
Yeah, but you gotta think them type of women is available. They're already there.
That motherfucker.
What type of woman want to sit up and have a man just come in and move in with
ones
them?
that's
Insane.
ones that's lonely and don't have nobody.
Women like
Her
that.
kids would not
women.
respect their mother when they get older. When they do that, they would not respect them.
The mother doesn't care.
They don't care.
That's the problem.
She
She just
wanna
wants
be
to
happy.
fill that void, right?
A man laying next to her.
Her children, all that, it's nothing
It's on
compared
the
to the
back
man.
burner.
Yes,
And I'm gonna
compared
throw
to the
something out
man
to
laying
you.
next to her,
Very,
watering
very
her,
quick. Women
giving her
feel
all
like
that
they
little
can't
love
have nothing
bombs
with
that they
children.
do.
What you mean?
Women feel like my mother told us, because of you all, I can never be happy.
You all is what?
Me and my sister. So she
Because-
felt like we were the burden of her happiness.
Not
She had
having
kids. She had
It
children.
goes back to what I keep
But
saying
it
about
goes
mismanagement.
back- But see, what I'm saying is that my mother wasn't the only woman who thinks like this or feels like this.
A lot of
There's a
women
lot
think
of
like
women
that.
feel like this.
Listen.
If I didn't have all these kids, I could be with this man and have this man and I could do this and I can go here. But because I have these children, I'm limited
That
to
they
what I can
mismanaged they
have.
PU to have. See, it goes back to what I keep saying. No matter how you gonna get mad for your choices.
But a lot of women do.
But
They do because
when
they,
do accountability
okay, but
kick in?
listen. When a woman first gets pregnant and she's with that guy, in a woman's
most of the time
mind,
the
they're
guy
thinking
say what? His name mine. Once the
No,
guy tell you,
sometimes the guy's like, yes. And the guy is like, we want to get pregnant. We want to do this. As soon
Some
as
men want to.
most
soon
men
as
say,
the woman
who
gets
are you
pregnant
pregnant
and
by?
has a baby,
When a man
the
asks
guy
you,
is
who
gone.
is the baby daddy, who you pregnant by?
That
and
mean
you
he
know,
don't trust
that mean get rid of that baby
So can I ask you a
ASAP.
'Cause he don't
question?
trust
You
you.
had your children late,
Yes,
30.
yes.
So when you first had your first son,
Mm-hmm.
which is your first child, you got her. Your goal in your mind is to be what? A family.
No.
That wasn't-
Okay, the first thing that happened was when she got pregnant by mistake. So when she got pregnant, you know what? I say, so what you gonna do?
It was no.
That's the fir-
you know
that's
what?
the-
You know it's no such thing as a mistake.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
How? Okay, go ahead.
It was a mistake.
All
Yeah,
right,
sure.
we gonna let that.
But
go.
my first thing is, a man, what you gonna do? She like, what you mean? What I'm gonna do? So okay, well I slacked off on that. Like, well, I guess
you
we
gonna have
doing
your
this.
first baby.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
how long were you guys together?
Me and my kids' mom was dating. I mean, see, I met
Before
her
she got pregnant.
in June.
About 2 years.
No, man, I made some months. I'm
Oh,
thinking.
and-
So she got pregnant
Nah,
quick.
It was boy.
It was.
Probably.
I met
at least a
Mimi. She
year.
was 19. Roger was born by the time she was 20.
So she got pregnant quick.
Bro, about 21.
Yeah, I'm 10 years older than her. I had my first child at 30. So she was 20.
Okay.
Oh, so you
And
got,
I met her at 19.
so you got
I
pregnant
met-
within the.
I got her pregnant within 6 months.
Okay.
6-7 months.
So it was no. What I'm trying to go at and say, when women usually meet a guy or the guy that they with and been with him for a long time or whatever, they think family. They not thinking, oh, he's gonna leave me. I'm gonna have this baby and I'm gonna have to raise this baby by myself. They're thinking we gonna be together. We gonna raise this child. They're not thinking separation.
I don't think she was thinking that. I'm thinking she was thinking he ain't gonna tell me what to do. By him questioning what we gonna do, it's kind of saying like, are you gonna get an abortion?
See, Drake did
Women
it.
always think the opposite.
Well-
She gonna do these opposite of
Well,
what.
that was her first child.
Well, that
Like,
was
how you
every man first option is an abortion. When a chick say I'm pregnant, he be like, okay, so you know what you need.
And
You know
that's
what I'm
when she
saying?
gonna be like, oh hell no.
And
I'm
she be
having
like,
this.
well, I'm keeping it. He be like, okay, he play along. He go along because he don't have no say anyway.
Mhm.
He ain't running shit. Once she say she pregnant, he's to her mercy.
Exactly.
So he thinking, what's the best way to play this?
Wow.
Well, I'm
I
gonna just
never-
go along with
Yeah, you'll
whatever.
go along to get along.
The results is gonna be what it's gonna
Yep.
be.
Because you know what? Even if she's pregnant and the baby's not yours, you don't want to be wrong either. So you still going to go along. You got to
But
go
I'm
along
thinking
with
when
it.
a woman first gets pregnant and she's with a guy for a period of time, she's thinking longevity. She's not thinking like we not gonna be together, or we gonna try to raise this baby together and make it happen. And then it goes back to what I say, so many women need help because so many women think like that. They're
so
not
you saying y'all thinking about how to come up on this nigga.
It's not even coming up. It's thinking about having a family.
Yeah,
so when you have it, so say for instance, me and my mate. Say me
if
and my
what you're saying is true, Barb, not to cut you off, but if what you're saying is true, why is 30% of the kids walking around right now calling a man daddy? That's not even his daddy.
Because it doesn't work out.
That's just to show you. It's just to show you once again,
daddy.
women is mismanaging themselves. They sitting up having multiple sex with multiple men at the same time,
And don't know who the baby.
and so when they
daddy
get pregnant, they don't know who the baby
That's
daddy is,
some women.
and they roll with the best candidate.
Mm.
Whoever
Well, the last guy
can
that
provide the best living for them and that child, that's who they roll with. But it's a 30% chance when a woman tell you she's pregnant, the baby is not yours. 30 is a big number.
It is.
That's a huge number. So if a woman pop up pregnant, first thing I'm screaming is DNA. You gotta scream. When she say I'm pregnant, I suggest any man say DNA.
I don't think you're wrong for that.
Yeah, but see, a woman go sit up here, she get offended.
She'll get offended.
She's
Well,
offended.
yeah, I am gonna get
for
offended,
you just
but
saying,
I don't think you. And the reason I say I don't think you're wrong for that because there's so many women who have children and it's not the man baby, and they know it ain't his baby, but they ain't gonna say nothing because once you say the safety net, say I'm married to somebody, he got a good job, our home is happy, I'm pregnant. I don't gotta tell him it ain't.
See, I look at how the woman.
The home happy. What if he ain't happy?
I look at how the woman
got a
treated.
baby on the way, so I ain't fit to go nowhere. We got one more on the way.
No, but see, for the man got to protect himself because right now you at the mercy of a woman when she. I'm gonna look at how she treated the baby daddy before me. If she on that nigga head and she like fuck him, he ain't shit. That's me in a year or two. She gonna be doing what make him any better for me. So if she's not treating this man with respect and giving him the courtesy of seeing this child when he want to, I'm gonna be looking like that's not a good woman. And I suggest any man that's fucking with a chick, look how she's treating the baby daddy before you. That will be you. You will be on child support. She will be telling the nigga after you, fuck you, fuck him, he ain't shit. That's just how she is. That's how she was raised.
What I will say when we get back to the topic of is it safe to date women with children, I think women are, like T said, very emotional creatures. I think women make bad decisions sometimes because women get caught up in their feelings and they use their children as a weapon. And when you become a weapon, the thing what I mean by that is saying that, oh, you ain't talking to me, you ain't dealing with me, so you can't see your kid. Or they calling shots now because the kid is the weapon. The kid is what gets her what she wants. And once she feel like she can't get what she wants when she wants it or can't have him under the control she wants him to be up under, she snatches that kid and says, oh, you can't see him no more.
And then run out of child support.
What about the guys that's not the biological dads? You can't weaponize against me. You know what I mean?
Not yet. I can't. She working on something though.
No, you can't.
If that's not my child, she can't weaponize this kid against me. It's not my child. And 9 times out of 10, if a guy just
but you know what, Dre, in a way
she
can because say it depends on how long you was in that child's life. So, I mean, she can't tell.
Oh, you saying like, I'm going to take Junior away from you?
No. You don't care. You ain't care, but I'm saying that child.
With a kid,
that
you gonna
child
start getting some
can have an
feelings for that little
attachment.
child.
Yeah, but that's not my motherfucking child, though.
I know.
That should be step
Well, you know what? I'm
going
to tell you like this. I dated a woman. When I dated a woman that had when I met her, she was 6 months pregnant when I met her.
Mm-hmm.
Me and her stayed together for about 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Her father, I never seen her father, the baby's father, not one time. So I raised that child just if my mom babysitting. She'll come over on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? I'll go over there. But I always told her, I'm not your dad. But I made sure.
Did your mama know that when your child?
My mom knew it.
Okay.
But I made sure she had birthday parties, even to this day. And she like 26 years old.
But you've been...
We still have a decent relationship.
You've always been a different type of guy, boy. It's the reason the way your mom raised you or whatever else, but you're a different type of guy. My mama would have been like, you bitch ass nigga, that ain't your motherfucker. My mama is different. So even if I wanted to do the shit you did, my mama wouldn't allow me to do that type of shit, dog. My mom would be like, you bitch ass nigga, this she the one. Ham on me, dog. I got a different type of mama. And that's why when I say the shit I say, it's because I was raised
Your
different.
mom was, I mean, how many boys did she have?
Fuck. 6 boys.
Six. That's why
she
she's
got
the way
no
that she
girls.
is.
She got
That's
all
why.
boys. She ain't got no daughters.
Listen, I remember when me and my brother Tutu, he was a child. He drunk some bullshit. She forced him. He mixed some bullshit up. He drunk it. And he was like, I'm going to kill myself. My mama pulled her 357 from her waistband. Slammed it on the table. Kill yourself, bitch. You too weak to be here. That's the type of mama I got, dog.
But like I said, so we gonna end this by saying, how do we agree upon this?
I'm most definitely totally against it. I don't see the benefits in it. And if a man decide to do it, long as he know he's to a disadvantage and he's going to take a L in the end.
I would say, women, you have to be more careful for who you allow around your children. You have to make better decisions when it comes to your kids and do background checks or whatever it is that you need to do, and stop acting off your emotions when it comes to that. You have to be more protected of your children. So I guess for me, it would be a no.
I agree with Barb and Meatball. Listen, for men who are dating women with children, I think you need to have precautionary measures as far as like dating the lady outside of the children, going on dates, eventually if you do want to be a part of her life, yeah, okay, go on dates with her and her kids. But you also have to understand her lifestyle with her kids and how she is a disciplinary and how her kids are, and if you're ready and willing for that, okay. If you're not, then go ahead and date women without children. I'm sure it's the least dramatic thing as dating, and the same for women, right? You don't want to date men with kids because you might have issues too. So it's the same thing, right? So that's my point of view. Obviously, it would be easier if, women dated men without kids and men dated women without kids, but that's not our reality today. Like, everybody almost has kids. So you just have to know how to, work that and be careful too.
I'm going to be neutral because the guys I know, they just coming over when the kids sleep anyway. So we ain't going to see them. We ain't going to see them.
You just a Django.
So we going to be neutral. We ain't going to see your little motherfucking kids. I'm going to end it on that.
Okay. Well, thank y'all for tuning in with another episode of OG. I'm Meatball.
I'm Barb.
I'm T.
I'm Dre.
We out.
Peace.
Peace.